issue. It was also because of the new law.
We went to hospital. Did you beat her up?
No, we had issue.
You did not beat her because she sustained injury.
That what?
The mother sustained injury.
She's on oxygen right now. She's on oxygen right now.
Domestic violence puts the victims more at risk for almost any mental health disorder, to include anxiety and panic disorders. From the videos, I heard somebody say that she's having a panic attack. Imagine a victim constantly living in fear. It puts that individual more at risk for depression. Think about that feeling of worthlessness, low self-esteem, and poor self-image. Again, you have to understand that the perpetrator most times, if not all the time, always finds a way of blaming the victim for their action. So imagine the hopelessness that individual feels from this constant repetition and pattern of this thing that keeps happening, and on, sleep issues, PTSD. This is traumatic for anybody to experience. It's almost impossible for physical abuse to not go hand in hand with verbal and emotional abuse. So you can see how that can be a contributing factor to low self-esteem or poor self-image. They are more at risk for substance abuse. This individual is trying to find ways to cope, and typically they don't always go to healthy ways of coping. It would usually be unhealthy ways of coping, because you have to understand that there's a shame factor attached to it, and for that reason they typically would not want to go to ask for help from people. So they will try to self-medicate and help themselves. And in the case where kids are involved, that's a whole long conversation, which in this case, kids are involved. Of course, the kids are younger, but here's what I tell people. It doesn't matter how young the kids are. It doesn't stop domestic violence from scarring these children. Here's one thing I'll say to you, both ladies and guys, because I know so many times when we talk domestic violence, people are only thinking ladies, but it's both ways. Granted, women are a larger percentage of the victims, but men could also be a victim. So I'm going to speak to the both gender. He that had ears, let him hear. Domestic violence affects your mental health, and in return will affect your physical health. If it doesn't already directly affect your physical health, in the sense that now the person sustains injury, end up getting a TBI, yes, because if that individual hits the person and they hit their head somewhere and end up getting a concussion or a TBI, yeah, know what you're exposing yourself to, know what you're exposing your children to, because it's not just about the hitting. It goes way beyond that person lifting their fingers on you. Well, there's resources out there to parents, loved ones, even if you're not the one experiencing it and you have a family member that's experiencing it, please ensure to get them help. And be easy on them, because it's not always an easy decision to make.